So let's talk about Ledger, which is opening up a new crypto card. It's actually pretty interesting. You're going to be able to get a collateral, use your Bitcoin or your other Ether or tokens, whatever, as collateral, draw out some capital, and spend it on a new card. 0% interest rate as well, which actually means that this kind of card will enable a lot of people to start spending their Bitcoin, their Ether, or other tokens just like you would regular everyday cash. So it's a pretty big product in the sense that a lot of people use these Ledger products just to hold their Bitcoin or hold their Ether. It's called cold storage. And most people, when they're doing cold storage, they don't spend those tokens. They just hodl them. But now, because of this 0% collateral program, you're not going to be taxed on it, and you can spend it. Zach, I'm going to throw this over to you. I think this is kind of speaks to adoption and kind of getting around some of those like tax problems that we've seen a lot of people not be comfortable with and therefore not spend their money.
I think this is a low-key big deal. Like, we've seen a lot of crypto debit cards come out, but it's always been like, yep, you can just spend your crypto. And everyone was like, do I really want to do that? So having the crypto collateral thing baked in, I think is actually really smart and could be, I think, a potential game changer for some of the things that crypto is seeking to accomplish, right? Like you have, Ledger here telling us that, hey, you know what? This could actually help replace the existing banking system. And I think that's kind of right? You can keep your crypto, you can draw loans off of it and use those dollars to spend rather than spending your crypto and depleting your crypto reserves in a way that has been unattractive to date for many, many, many crypto users. So interesting to see this. I'm really curious to see what kind of uptick this product finds. Of course, Ledger is pretty popular sort of in the hardware wallet space. So, a month or two from now, I think I'm going to be really keen on checking how many people took them up on this offer because it could be interesting to see if this moves the needle on crypto payments.
I want to get Naomi's thoughts on this because you're a spender.
I have some questions.
You spend your Bitcoin.
Yeah, I have some questions about it. So maybe you can walk me through it, Will. So you put this collateral in, you get a line of credit out from it. What sort of fees are involved? What sort of rewards are involved? How does it compete with other products out there?
So I didn't see anything about fees in terms of other products. There are a bunch out there, like Zach kind of mentioned. Flexa is one that comes to mind really easily, just where you have this integration of holding your crypto in a hot wallet or a cold wallet, and then also the ability to spend it. The bridge between those two things is the toughest part, because if you actually sell your crypto in order to purchase something in dollars or pounds or Canadian dollars or whatever you're using, you typically come into a taxable event, and that's the biggest issue here. But I think with this kind of workaround where you can instantly draw a line of credit and spend that credit, you're not necessarily going to be taxed on that. I think we should get some tax professionals on that maybe to kind of like clarify it a bit. But from my understanding of this, is you're just putting your Bitcoin or Ether up as collateral, and then you're paying that back in kind at a later date. And there's 0% interest on it, which of course is really notable because you're not having to pay that over the longevity of the credit. Maybe I'll give it back to you though.
Yeah, I think it's kind of genius, and it's kind of this happy middle ground, because you've got some people who spend crypto and they're like, who cares about the tax? Like, the whole point of this is to kind of defund the government, and it's uncensorable, and you can do it privately and they're not even going to know. So why do I even concern myself with that stuff? And you got the opposite side, who are the polar opposite, saying I cannot ever touch my crypto because it's a taxable event and this scares the hell out of me. I don't want to do anything that worries the IRS. And so it's very interesting that now we have these products that are like, hey, you get the best of both worlds. You don't have to worry about tax, and then you can also spend your crypto. It's kind of catering to a large segment of the crypto community, I think. I think it's really important to be normalizing usage in the crypto economy, mainly because if we are looking for an alternative system, we have to build up all aspects of that alternative ecosystem. And currently, we've got the whole buying assets down. Everyone's doing that, but we haven't created that circular economy. We haven't gotten people into the habit of saying, hey, this is something that could displace the traditional financial system. You could be using this instead of even going near there. You could close down your bank account. You don't have to have that anymore. You don't have to worry about funds being frozen and seized or controlled. You don't have to worry about them saying you can't donate to WikiLeaks. You can literally just control your own money. And I think it's just so important that we close that loop. We create that circular economy. We encourage crypto usage. And this may be a really strong step in that direction. I think the rewards in other cards has also been a strong step. I'm incentivized to spend my crypto because there are amazing rewards. They definitely offset any tax implications there. But I think this is a kind of genius way that gets the best of both worlds. But Will, I'll throw it to you.
Yeah, I'll add a few thoughts before I throw it down to Jen. But I think you're spot on there. Like a lot of these other projects have used some sort of incentive built into it in order to get people to spend their crypto through their project. And a lot of times that just comes back to VC money being funneled from the project to a user, or some sort of token project, or whatever the like tokenomics behind it to make it work. This seems to be, hey, like here's collateral, give it to us, and then you can go spend your crypto through a line of credit. I'm sure they're making money some way or the other, but it seems a little bit more straightforward. One thing that's also notable is that you can put USDC or other stablecoins into this and then draw a line of credit out from that, which means that you're not going to have much risk there of your collateral falling below like a certain level and being seized or whatnot. You can just spend dollar for dollar, and it almost becomes like that stablecoin dream of being able to spend them at a Walmart or a Walgreens kind of becomes true here. Jen, I'll throw it to you for last thoughts, though.
Before I give my last thoughts, I just want to know, Zach, are you okay?
I had to cough and now I'm crying. I'm so sad.
Don't cry, Zach.
It's okay. All of us have to cough at some stage. You don't have to cry about it.
It's so true. I think this is so genius. I agree with all three of you. The only thing is I think this makes so much sense to people who are crypto native, people who really understand how crypto works. But I think for the mainstream, for people who are really going to benefit from this, and we're thinking about products like this displacing traditional bank accounts, there's still a lot of education that has to be done. I think people still see their traditional bank accounts as this safety net, although there are so many reasons why they should not. We've seen them play out over history. But I just think I would love to see Ledger, really educate those people in some way, shape, or form. And maybe that education is just going to take time. So I think this is really cool and a glimpse into what could happen for the masses in the future. But I think there's still a steep learning curve there. But we'll see what adoption looks like.